You download a piano app thinking the hardest part is finally starting. The first night actually feels productive. You learn a few notes, you play part of a melody that you recognize, and for a moment, it feels like this might turn into a real habit. The second day still feels exciting too. You open the app again, you repeat a few lessons, maybe even start looking up beginner piano videos because now you're imagining yourself actually getting good at this. And then a few days pass, the app is still on your phone, the free trial is still active, but practice already started feeling easier to postpone. And that's the part nobody really talks about with piano apps. Most of them are good at creating excitement during the first hour. The real question is what happens once the early motivation disappears and learning starts feeling repetitive, because that's usually where beginners quietly stop. Not because piano is impossible to learn, mostly because the experience slowly stops feeling rewarding enough to just come back to every day. And having a real chorus to drop into instead of some scattered tips gives that some direction. And after noticing that pattern a few times, I stopped paying attention to marketing claims and started paying attention to something much simpler. Which app actually makes people want to keep practicing after the first week? So I spent a few weeks switching between Simply Piano, Flowkey, and Skoove to see which one survives that phase the best, a point where consistency becomes more important. Simply Piano was the app people kept reopening without being reminded. The first night using it felt surprisingly smooth because the app gets into actual playing very quickly, within a few minutes actually. Simple melodies already start sounding recognizable, enough that beginners feel like they are making real progress, and that feeling matters a lot at the beginning. Beginners usually quit when practice starts feeling repetitive before confidence has time to build. Simply Piano avoids that problem pretty well. Every session just keeps moving. A short exercise turns into a melody, one lesson leads directly into another song. Small improvements happen fast enough that practice keeps feeling rewarding. I notice that especially with my child. Normally, attention disappears pretty quickly once something starts feeling too technical. But with Simply Piano, one lesson usually turned into just one more song without much resistance. One evening, I walked into the room expecting practice to already be over, and a familiar melody was still repeating from the app 20 minutes later. Nobody had asked for extra practice. Nobody was being pushed to continue. And that was probably the moment that I started understanding why so many beginners stick with it. The app is very good at making early progress feel visible. Beginners start playing recognizable songs much earlier, which changes the emotional side of learning piano quite a bit. Once people hear something that actually sounds like music coming from their own hands, well, they naturally want to keep going. A big part of that comes down to the song library itself. It's not a handful of practical tunes. It is a genuinely large catalog spanning pop, movie themes, classical pieces, holiday songs, whatever someone actually wants to sit down and play. And that choice matters more than it sounds like it should. Practicing a generic exercise, well, it feels like homework. Practicing a song you already know and feels like a reward for showing up. My child picked songs off of that list that had nothing to do with any lesson plan, purely because they recognized it. And that alone was enough to get an extra 10 minutes of practice most days. The pacing is another piece that quietly does a lot of work. Any song can be slowed right down while a tricky section is still being learned, then brought back up to full speed once it does start to click. And that sounds like a small feature, but it changes how mistakes feel. Instead of a fast passage becoming a wall someone bounces off repeatedly, becomes something that they can approach at whatever speed they're actually capable of on that day. Nobody feels rushed, and nobody feels stuck either. And underneath the songs, there's actual structure. Simply Piano isn't just pick a song and go. It's built around separate courses, so someone can follow a dedicated path for reading notes, another for chords and pop-style playing, another for technique. And that mattered more for the adults that I watch than I expected. A few of them didn't just want to just play songs by feel. They wanted to understand what they were doing. And Simply Piano keeps creating those moments consistently. Now, I also noticed adults reacted differently to the app compared to Flowkey and Skoove. With Simply Piano, people were much more likely to casually open the app for 15 to 20 minutes during free time because these sessions never really felt mentally heavy. You could make progress without feeling like you needed full concentration for an hour straight. That low pressure feeling helps consistency a lot. Even mistakes feel manageable inside of the app. If timing is off, or if notes are wrong, the feedback happens quickly enough that practice rarely turns frustrating. And after a few weeks, One thing became very obvious. People who normally struggle with sticking to hobbies lasted longer with simply piano because it removes enough friction during the beginner phase that people keep practicing long enough to build momentum naturally. Now, Flowkey felt very different immediately. The pacing is calmer, slower, and much more focused on actually sitting with songs for longer periods. Now, out of the three apps, Flowkey felt closest to traditional piano learning. That can be a very good thing depending on the person that's using it. The app uses real piano demonstrations very heavily, so lessons feel more like observing an actual musician and gradually following along step by step. The song library is also one of the strongest parts of Flowkey. If someone's main goal is learning full songs properly, well, Flowkey becomes very appealing pretty quickly. I found myself spending more time repeating sections carefully here compared to simply piano, less fast progression, more deliberate repetition. And for some learners, well, that structure feels much more satisfying, especially adults who already have patience for slower learning. Now, Flowkey also gives learners more room to slow everything down and just really focus on hand placement, timing, and accuracy. The app feels less interactive game and more guided piano practice, and that difference becomes clearer after the first week. Personally, Flowkey started becoming more rewarding once the beginner excitement phase settled down. That slower pacing makes more sense when someone already knows they're committed to learning piano long term. I could also see intermediate learners preferring Flowkey pretty quickly. If someone already understands basic notes and simply wants a large song library with some structured guidance, well, Flowkey handles that experience very well. The app does feel mature. Practice sessions also feel quieter mentally. There's less constant stimulation happening compared to simply piano. Some people will love that. Others may slowly lose consistency because the sessions demand more patience. And that's really the trade-off. A few days into testing, I noticed I was opening simply piano casually during random free moments, while Flowkey, it felt more like dedicated practice time. Neither approach is wrong, they're just solving different problems. For kids though, I noticed attention started dropping faster on Flowkey unless they already had genuine interest in the piano. The slower pacing sometimes made sessions feel longer than they actually were. Adults responded much better to it, especially people who care about eventually becoming a real piano player. I think Flowkey probably developed stronger long-term habits for certain learners because it encourages more patience and repetition from the beginning. The experience, it just simply requires more discipline. All right, next up is Skoove, and Skoove landed somewhere between the other two apps for me. The app feels calmer and more instructional from the beginning, almost like a digital teacher guiding practice quietly in the background. Some people are going to really connect with that style. Skoove focuses on explaining concepts gradually. The lessons feel structured carefully, and the pacing stays steady throughout. I could see complete beginners appreciating that slower guidance during the first few sessions. The app also tries to build musical understanding alongside playing itself, which gives the experience a more educational tone overall. But after a while, I wasn't feeling pulled back into the app as naturally compared to simply piano. The lessons were solid, the structure made sense, but the emotional momentum wasn't quite as strong during daily use. And that matters more because beginners rarely quit piano from lack of information. Usually they quit because practice slowly stops feeling rewarding. And for me, Skoove occasionally drifted into that territory where sessions felt slightly more just like studying. Not dramatically, just enough to notice over time. I also think it works better for people who already know they prefer calm, slower-paced learning environments. Learners who dislike overly fast feedback systems may actually prefer its style quite a bit. Parents might appreciate it too if they want something that feels more educational and less stimulation heavy for younger kids. Still, compared side by side, Skoove felt less memorable overall. I rarely finished a session before getting frustrated, but I also rarely finished wanting to immediately open the app again later that night. And when comparing piano apps for beginners, well, that instinct matters a lot because consistency usually decides whether someone keeps learning piano after the first month. Now, after spending time with all three, the biggest difference really came down to motivation. Simply Piano, it's the app that kept people coming back most naturally. The fast feedback, recognizable songs, and lighter pacing make it very easy for complete beginners to stay consistent long enough to build confidence. Flowkey, it felt stronger for learners who already know they're serious about piano and want a slower, more focused learning experience centered around real songs and repetition. Skoove felt thoughtful and structured, but the experience demanded more self-discipline to maintain consistently over time. And for complete beginners, busy adults or families, I highly recommend checking out Simply Piano because at the beginning, staying motivated matters more than almost anything else. And once people build the habit of sitting at the keyboard regularly, everything else starts getting easier naturally. If you want to give a try to Simply Piano, I've included affiliate links in the description so the channel earns a small commission if you sign up through any of them. No extra cost to you, but it does help support the channel. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. And if you do have any questions or there is something that I did not cover, just drop it in the comments and I'll try to help out. And if this video helped you, feel free to leave a like and sub because it genuinely helps the channel out a lot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.